What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color and to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, the show where we talk about every new Blu-ray and 4K release that's coming out this week. Today we're talking about October 8th. That's tomorrow, Blues Day Tuesday, 2024. And we've got tons of stuff to talk about this week. Lots of October-themed titles coming out, some new movies getting 4K releases from this year, and also some old favorites, old Halloween classics getting some releases as well. We've also got some boutique releases to talk about, including Criterion's latest double feature, which comes out tomorrow, that I'm really looking forward to. So let's get into the new releases. We do shoot this show live every Monday night here on YouTube in front of a live audience right here. We go live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's 6 p.m. Pacific, so feel free to come out and join us. We always have a good time talking movies and collecting in the live chat. I'm going to try to get to as many questions and comments in the chat as possible, but as always, you do have that super chat option available to you, and that'll put a big fancy banner around it to make sure it doesn't get lost in the sea of other questions in the chat. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Speaking of the chat, we'll see who's here already. We've got internet user CG Anime Fan. Dan's Den was the first one I saw tonight. Carrie Witt says howdy. Henry Bidencap, Scary Spooktober, DJ and fellow beings. Well, welcome to the stream, Henry. Evil Wax is here. Jeffrey Patron is here. John is here. What's up, John? Haven of Horror, another John. Two Johns in a row right there. Posty's here. Michael Smith says, what do you guys think about Darkman? Worth a blind buy? I would also like to know that, because that's another one I haven't seen, but I think it got a release recently, 4K release from Shout, I want to say, and I was tempted to pick it up, but I don't know, haven't seen the film. We'll have to see. Who else is here? I'm seeing some new names. Josh Sheesh 4K. Don't recognize that name. Welcome to the stream. I love the artwork on that Get Out and Us double pack. Well, we'll get into that. No spoilers. Don't give away anything yet. We're about to talk all the new releases here in just a minute. Who else is here? Connor's here. Kevin is here. He is pumped for the Criterion this week. Me too, sir. Let's go ahead and jump into the new releases, and I'll talk to you guys periodically throughout the evening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Always appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch some schmuck here on YouTube talking about movies. It is always humbling to me. I don't know if it is. I don't know if I should still be surprised, but I still am. Let's go ahead and jump into the first one. October 8th, a 4K, Ultra HD, and digital combo pack of A Quiet Place Day 1. I am so behind on the Quiet Place movies. I didn't even see the second Quiet Place movie, but I absolutely loved the first one. The first one was amazing. It came out in a year full of parenting movies. I don't know if it was just because that was the first year I became a parent, but every movie, it seemed like, in 2018 was about parenting. Like, I saw A Quiet Place came out. Tully also came out that year. We had, I can't remember which Pixar movie it was. I think it was Incredibles 2, also obviously about parenting, family. And then even the short in front of it was Bow, which was all about his mother and the relationship with the son. It was like I couldn't get away from parenting movies that year. And this one really like broke me. Quiet Place was the first one anyway. I haven't seen this one, but the first one was amazing. It was the first year my son was born. And good grief, if I was in that situation, I have no idea what I would do. Hopefully, I would be as capable as Jim from The Office in a situation like that. But this is a day one. This is a prequel to the Quiet Place franchise. I've heard mixed things. I've heard, well, not mixed things, I would say. I've heard like the same thing, that it's just kind of in the middle. It's good, not great, not terrible. It's kind of right down the middle. Here's the slipcover on that. We're getting a 4K release. Same kind of black and red theme that they've done with all of those. I don't know how I feel about this. This is like in between. This is like, it's still like daylight and it's still like normal. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes 2011, I guess. It's like it's like as things are going down. Let me know in the chat and in the comments afterwards if you've seen this one. I did, though, recently go to LA to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood, and there was a Quiet Place house. Haunted house there, and it was amazing. It was probably the best house of all like 9 or 10 houses that I went to there. It was amazing. Had super cool like animatronic monsters everywhere. It was all about the first movie. It was recreating all these scenes from the first movie. Even the basement scene with the nail. Oh, it was amazing. The detail they went through was great. It wasn't really like a scary house. There wasn't people jumping out at you. It was just more like recreating those scenes. And the monsters, like would jump out. It would be dark, and then the monster would pop out. So it was fun, and I really enjoyed that house. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going off already. Tangents on the first one. This is the prequel. Coming out tomorrow. It's 4K and digital, and it's only $25 on Amazon right now if you want to add that to your collection, or if you are one of the rare Targets that or Walmarts that still carry stuff, maybe you can find it out in the wild. Hopefully my stream is not too bad tonight. I'm getting some errors popping up on YouTube that it's not maintaining a smooth stream, so hopefully it's not too bad for you. Next up, we've got Maxine, an earlier film from 2024 from Lionsgate, getting a 4K Blu-ray and digital, all three. You can always count on Lionsgate to really put out the best physical media releases, or up there anyway. I did not see Maxine. I haven't been to the theater much this year, but I've heard great things about it. It is another horror film, and it is getting a 4K transfer. Probably looking pretty good. $35 right now on Amazon, so a little bit pricier, but hopefully if you've been waiting for that to come to physical, you can snatch that. There is also, that's the Steelbook version with that artwork you just saw. Same exact artwork on the Blu-ray and DVD combo pack with just the standard slipcover, but it has the same artwork, also from Lionsgate. This is in the same universe as X and Pearl, which I'm just out of the loop. I haven't seen any of them. And then you've also got, I'm assuming there's a third. Here's another version. This is the Walmart exclusive Blu-ray DVD digital. I don't know why you would want, I guess it's just a different slipcover. Not that crazy. It's just got the red going through there. Interesting that Walmart's putting out exclusives again, not even just the Steelbooks, but just different slipcovers. That's fun, I guess. I'm gonna support it. I want Walmart to get involved in this kind of stuff. My Walmart doesn't have anything. It's a terrible selection, but there you go. You've got tons of different options for Maxine. I'm gonna go into one more here, and then I'm gonna catch up with you guys on the chat. We've got, boom, I Walked with a Zombie and The Seventh Victim. This is the Criterion release that we've already teased for tonight. A double feature. Such a cool idea from Criterion. This is 1943. Two features produced by Val Lewton. This is the era of Hollywood where the producer was the star, and you didn't even really know who the directors were. I've also been watching through some films that are in the same vein. This is the Arrow Video Cold War Creatures box set, and it says 4 films from Sam Katzman. Doesn't even mention the directors, just the producer, and all 4 of those films are all produced by Sam Katzman. So this is that same kind of thing. You've got the producer that's really doing everything and kind of pulling the strings and running the show, and then you've got the directors' names there, much smaller underneath the title. But these look like a lot of fun. These are 1940s horror film, which is really my era of 40s, my era of horror films and stuff I like to watch in October. So there you go. You've got 2 films. I've never seen Criterion do this. Sometimes they include a second film, or they'll do like double features, but they've never done it like this. Maybe they have, but it's just like straight down the middle, actual like double feature, double bill. I wish they had done it like the classic posters where it's like top and bottom, like you see at a movie theater. I think the artwork would have looked a little cooler. This kind of gives me like bargain bin Walmart vibes with the halfway down the middle. It's not the best, but I'm fine. If the movies are great, I don't care about the cover art. So that is right now $42 on Amazon, but you can find it at your local Barnes & Nobles if you still have Barnes & Nobles that store Criterion movies in the back, or Kino Lorber. There's a Kino Lorber sale going on right now, so check that out if you can. I think I'm going to try to make my way out there tomorrow. But there we go. That's probably the most anticipated this week for me. I'm most excited about that one. I may get a chance to watch that this week. My friend John, who is in the chat, has already borrowed it. He rented it from Videodrome here in Atlanta, and he said he would be free this week to come over and watch it. So we might do a double feature this week if we can make it work. That should be a lot of fun. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let me scroll back up here. I'm just going to jump in here. This is from Joshish4K. Yes, I'm a new name. Discovered your channel through Geekvolution. Happens to be I'm a huge movie collector, so your content is right up my alley. Hey, well, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. I hope you're enjoying the content. There's been a ton of it. So go back to the archives and watch through. Don't go too far back because those videos are terrible. But, you know, peruse at your leisure. Michael Smith, we might have to start docking DJ's pay if he keeps being late. What are you talking about, sir? I wasn't late. I was right here at 9 o'clock. You might have to refresh your page, sir. Eva Wax 73. I just watched A Quiet Place Day 1 and thought it was pretty damn good. Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that the franchise seems to be holding up pretty well. Connor says it was aight. The best parts are when you can tell it's from the guy who directed Pig. Connor, big fan of Pig. That was his favorite movie from that year. Gus already has the Steelbook of A Quiet Place Day 1. Josh Knoll, I'll be picking up A Quiet Place Day 1 as I have the other two movies and love them. Have to complete the trilogy. I need to see the second one still because apparently that one is pretty good too. Let's see. We got Daniel Banks popping into the chat. Jason X350Z is excited for Maxine. Maybe didn't catch it in the theater either. Carrie Witt, it was a choppy... Oh, excuse me. Just talking about the stream. Saying it was choppy for a bit, but fine now. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the update. Stop trying to sabotage me, YouTube. What else are people saying? Anybody talking about the Criterion stuff? Let's see. Connor says my Walmart has nothing but crummy DVDs. Same. Very, very similar situation over here. But you've got Barnes & Nobles that are amazing, that have all kinds of Kino Lorber and Criterion stuff. So I don't want to hear you complaining, sir. We got a super chat from Jeffrey E. Patron. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Really appreciate it. He says Val Lewton is tops. Yeah, Jeffrey, I'm sure he's probably seen a lot of Val Lewton films. He's seen a ton of films from this era. I'm very jealous of all the films he's seen. Let me know what you think of those two, Jeffrey. Michael Smith, well, I was waiting for the start and realized I had to refresh. Derp. Ha! Yeah, there you go. Calling me out. No, it's cool. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube sometimes, if you're waiting, it should just start by itself. You shouldn't have to refresh. That's an annoying YouTube bug. That's not your fault. Henry says, DJ, this trilogy, how do you say that? Damagen trilogy is for $30 on the Arrow sale. Capra collection on sale for anywhere $157 to $175. Yes, that trilogy is something that I'm very much looking forward to. I want to get that. I don't have it. I say looking forward to. I eventually want to get it. It's been recommended to me several times. It's the next place I want to go after the Yokai Monster box set from Arrow. It's like another Japanese trilogy, except these are like silly monster movies. But that is, I've heard, is like a slasher movie with a giant like stone god monster. It looks insane. I've watched the trailer. It looks really cool. I want to check that one out eventually. But there's just so much. There's so much. I've got enough on my plate for this October. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get to it this October, but maybe next year I'll pop those in. Posty, The Killers is a Criterion double feature with 46 and 64's versions. Yes, that's what I was thinking of actually. But they don't advertise that. It's just like a feature on the back. It's not like a split screen double bill. I'm gonna jump back. Don't jump back. You guys are distracting me. So let me get back to the new releases. We've got. We usually don't talk about TV, but this is a Shout Factory release, so I'll talk about it briefly. Arcane season 1 is getting a nice. Looks like a Steelbook edition. Steelbook edition from G Kids, which is partnered with Shout Factory. Arcane League of Legends, getting a 4K Steelbook from Shout Factory, if you're into that show. And then here we go. Someone already called this out in the chat. Dan Stan says this is his most anticipated movie from this week. Sleepy Hollow, 25th Anniversary Edition, getting a 4K Steelbook. Very cool. This is a classic Tim Burton movie. I haven't seen his new one yet, but it's pretty much, I think most people agree he's been out to pasture for a long time, and he hasn't made a great film in a while. Maybe Beetlejuice is a great film. I'm hearing mixed things about it from different people, different audiences, but Sleepy Hollow is a beloved film by Mr. Tim Burton. It's 1999. I've seen this one once. I would love to revisit it. I don't know if I'll be picking up this Steelbook 4K, but it is a Blu-ray and digital combo pack as well. It's got some nice artwork right there. Just the classic poster is usually the way to go. Unless you're going to get some really cool custom artwork. Looks like a lot of fun. Hopefully that transfer looks great because it's a very visually interesting and stylistic movie. That's when he was really starting to settle into his like dark Tim Burton-y vibes. Before that, I was surprised. I actually watched Beetlejuice for the first time a couple weeks ago in preparation for the new one and kind of in preparation for spooky season. And I was actually surprised as someone who's not a huge Tim Burton fan. Not that I don't like him. I just haven't seen a lot of his stuff. I was surprised that Beetlejuice was so colorful and very like, it's got a whole different vibe than I'm used to from his later, like where everything is desaturated in black and white. Super colorful. It's kind of got this artificial, everything looks kind of like a set. I liked it quite a bit. spoiler, I mean, I really liked the first Beetlejuice. I'm looking forward to the sequel. But yeah, the first one was great, and it was a lot of fun, and it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Beetlejuice he's barely in it. He's the bad guy. I was surprised by so many things. Sometimes these big movies that are so popular, you get this image in your head based on pop culture, and the movie's not actually what you thought it was. I really, really liked it as this film about ghosts from their perspective. I thought it was really, really cool. I liked it quite a bit. Watched that one with Grace a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed it. Also on 4K Steelbook this week, we've got Devil. Devil getting a 4K Steelbook from 2010. Very descriptive title. It is about an elevator to hell, I'm assuming. I don't know what's going on. This is a really not great poster. I don't like the lowered opacity floating heads in the door. That does not look great. But maybe it's a good movie. It's obviously a horror movie, supernatural mystery movie. 5 strangers are trapped in an elevator high above Philadelphia. Shout out to Pennsylvania, my birthplace. Starting to realize that one of them is not what they seem. Ooh, is there a demon in the elevator? Ooh, a tight space horror movie. That seems fun. Nice breezy 80 minutes. Haven't heard of that one, but there you go. You got a nice 4K Steelbook if you're a big Steelbook collector. A couple more here. We've got Kinds of Kindness getting a Blu-ray release. I have not seen this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Hot off of Poor Things, which was one of my favorite movies from last year. Hopefully I like this one as well. This is I don't know. This is an assault on the eyes. I do not like this poster at all. But this is the latest Yorgos Lanthimos film. He cranked it out right after Poor Things, the very next year. I think there was walkouts at Cannes, and there was also standing ovations. So I don't know. It could go either way. I can't wait to check it out. I think it's streaming on Hulu, so I might check it out there first before I buy this crappy, horrendous Disney Buena Vista Blu-ray, because that's all we got. That's all we got. There's going to be no 4K. If I know Disney, there's going to be no 4K. All right, what are people saying in the chat? Holy smokes, I'm way behind. I'm just going to jump in where I can. Jason, is there a region free for American Fiction Blu-ray because it's not available in the UK? I have no idea. Is there even a Blu-ray at all for American Fiction? I never picked it up. That was one of my favorite movies from last year too, and I did not grab it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a region-free Blu-ray. Probably not. I think you probably have to get some kind of way to play region-free stuff if you want to watch a UK version of that. What else is here? CG Anime Fan says Beetlejuice is his favorite film of the year, so that's high praise from him. John says, I rewatched Sleepy Hollow for our autumn movies list last year and really enjoyed it. I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, but this one is pretty solid. Yeah, I remember it. I remember liking it. I need to give it a rewatch, though, to see if it holds up for me. Ethan says Ed Wood is his favorite Burton film. I've heard great ones about that as well. Let's see. Let me see if I can catch up. Oh, thank you, Gus. Thank you, Gus. Gus says Devil is not a Steelbook. Yeah, some of those things, the weird perspective on these sometimes confuses me, and I didn't put that one in the thumbnail, so I didn't get a good look at it. Sorry, false advertising. It's not a Steelbook, but it is getting a 4K from Shout Factory if you're interested in Devil. Thank you, Gus, for keeping me honest here. What else are people saying? Dan Stan, let's hear what Dan Stan has to say about Devil. Allegedly one of those movies at the time where people laughed at the from M. Night part. I remember laughing at it, but it's been so long, would have been better if M. Night directed it. Oh, is that one of the ones that he produced that they kind of slapped his name on? Because that happened a ton of times. Connor Nielsen says Yorgos is usually quite prolific before the Dune movies. Villeneuve was the same way. Yeah, the Dune movies are taking a toll on that guy. Those are epic movies that take a long time to produce, and I have no problem with that. I'm looking forward to the third one. Slipmaker, in the world of megalopolises, I take standing ovations at Cannes not at all seriously. So Slipmaker did not like Megalopolis. I'm still looking forward to checking that one out. I have been really liking the last few films I've seen from this year. There's been a dearth of good movies this year, for me anyway, the stuff that I've been watching, but I really, really liked, what's it called? Oh man, I can't even think of it right now. It starts with an S. It was a crazy, absolute nutty movie, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't think of it for some reason right now. Substance, that's what it's called, The Substance. What a great experience at the theater. Love that. Magnitude Rev, hi DJ, just popping in to say hi. Also, go watch The Wild Robot with your kids. I missed it. My wife and kids went to see Wild Robot while I was out in LA at Halloween Horror Nights, so I missed it. I'm going to have to catch it later by myself or maybe rewatch it with the kids, but they loved it. My wife came back raving about it, And the kids loved it as well. My son was actually referencing it today at dinner, and I felt like a rube because I didn't understand my 6-year-old's reference, and I felt left out. Michael Smith, too pricey for Kinds of Kindness. Yeah, probably. It's just a crappy Disney. Yeah, look at that. $32 for a bare bones Blu-ray from Disney? No, thank you. I will watch it on Hulu. I don't like having streaming services, but my wife has far too many of them for her TV watching needs, and I'll just catch that one on Hulu. What else? What else are people saying? Anything? Let me jump back. All right. Kinds of Kindness there. We already talked about that one. This one is called Eczema from 2024. Not eczema. No skin maladies here. This is Eczema from Japan? I'm assuming it's from Japan. No, Korea, excuse me. What an idiot. It's from Korea, and this looks like a very interesting movie. I have no idea this is out. I'm actually going to read some of the synopsis here because I have no idea what this is. It's from 2024. It's a brand new movie. It is a horror mystery thriller film when a renowned shaman and her protege are hired by a wealthy, enigmatic family. They begin investigating the cause of a disturbing supernatural illness that affects only the firstborn children of each generation. Ooh, interesting. With the help of a knowledgeable mortician and the country's most revered geomancer. What is a geomancer? Is he raising rocks from the dead? They soon trace the affliction's origin to a long-hidden family grave located on sacred ground. Interesting. So it's kind of like a very modern take on kind of an old ghost story. Interesting. This sounds great. I have not heard of this. This might be one of the ones I have to check out towards the end of the year. Didn't even know about this. Didn't even hear about it. Maybe it'll get nominated for International Feature and we'll get a little bit more news about it. But that's Eczema. I should mention quickly a couple other Quiet Place releases. We do have a Steelbook for the Quiet Place Day 1, getting a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack. That's what the Steelbook looks like. It's kind of cool. It's like a unique design. It's got like the sound wave, and then I like the city in the sound wave. I don't really like how she's cropped in there. She's just kind of masked out. She's just like a simple mask on the left side and a hard line on the right. Not great. Not the best, but it's kind of a cool Steelbook. And then there's also some other versions. I think there's another Steelbook. Yeah, here's a whole nother Steelbook. This is the Walmart exclusive Steelbook. It just has the sound waves with the city. A little bit more simpler and a nice bright red color. If you prefer that one, you've got two different options if you're a Steelbook collector. And then there's also just the standard Blu-ray version with the same artwork as the DVD. You're just going to get a big red banner at the top instead of the black one that's on the 4K. So lots of different versions of A Quiet Place to pick up coming out this week. We've also got a couple versions of Friday Night Lights, a football movie from, 2004? I think my wife was a big fan of this movie. I have never seen it, but it is a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack coming from Universal Studios. There's the cover on there. Just holding hands. Just bros. Just bros being bros. And then the back looks like that. That is it. Not a big fan of sports movies, so I'm going to miss this one, especially going back to it this late, not having seen it. It's probably not going to hold up too well for me, but if you are a big fan of this movie and you don't want to get that standard 4K, you've also got a Steelbook version. That's the Steelbook on there. Kind of nice, classy looking Steelbook. You got lots of images all the way around, all the way through, and that is also a 3-way combo pack, 4K, Blu-ray, and digital, all the same stuff, just with your Steelbook packaging. That's what I like. I like to see options being put out for collectors. Put out the standard, put out the slipcover, put out the Steelbook. Give us options, because not everyone collects the same way. And then one more here. This is a big one from last year that I missed. I was very remiss to have missed this. It only played for like one day in my theaters here. But Decal Releasing has got us. They're putting out a Blu-ray of Robot Dreams. This was a Best Animated Feature nominee from last year. Silent. I believe it's completely silent. Totally up my alley. I wish I had got a chance to see this. I've heard great things. Beautifully, simplistically animated and subtle and no talking, just completely silent. I can't wait to check it out. I might just have to blind buy this one because I've heard from close friends that it's really good and I would like it. It seems totally like my thing. We've also got Late Night with the Devil getting a Blu-ray release from RLJ Entertainment. This has got I feel like this has had a couple different boutique releases already, but this is just a standard Blu-ray. If you like the film but didn't love it enough to pay like, what is it, like crazy $50, $60, $70 from Umbrella, whatever that crazy boutique release was. If you just want the movie, here it is on Blu-ray for $18 right now from RLJ Entertainment. There is a slipcover as well, according to Blu-ray.com. So got a couple different options there. That's going to be the cheapest, most economical option. What are people saying in the chat? Let me see if I can catch up in the chat here. Slipmaker, going to see The Substance tomorrow. Can't wait. Also, how was Halloween Horror Nights? I almost had my hopes set on a vlog. Yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat. If there is enough interest in hearing about it, maybe I'll shoot a quick video talking about it. It was a lot of fun. There was, I think, 10 different houses. My favorite one, I said earlier, was the Quiet Place house. Really, really cool. I was also very surprised. There's the houses that I liked the most were the ones that like told a story. Like that one, there was also a Mexican folklore themed house that had like all these different folklore traditions from Mexico that I had never heard of but seemed fascinating. There was one room where you walk in and it's like a children's bedroom. It's all set dressed. There's like blocks and toys all over the floor and there's a kid in the bed. Not a real kid, but like a statue of a kid, horrified. And at the end of the bed, there was like a sack with a bunch of children's feet sticking out of it. So I'm assuming this was like some folk tale that you would tell to your kids, like get to bed or you're going to get picked up by this bag sack monster that steals kids. I don't know. I would let that one made me want to do like a bunch of research on all the folklore around that one because that one was a lot of fun. There was also a zombie one that was actually, I'm not even a zombie guy, but it was very interesting because it wasn't based on a movie or anything. It was just this story of like this science lab where it had like a breach and there was like all this green radioactive chemicals everywhere and these animals like breaking out and monkeys that were being tested turning into zombies, and then there was human zombies and there was like people in Ziploc bags, like giant Ziploc bags. It was very creepy and very cool and very interesting. So I like those ones better. My least favorite house was, I think, the Weeknd one, just because I've never listened to any of his music and I didn't know any of the references and there wasn't really any story at all. It was just a bunch of different, I'm assuming references to his music videos. I don't actually know. It's just a bunch of different weird things. But I like the ones that had stories. Maybe I'll do a video on that if people are interested. It's not usually what we talk about here, but I did get some footage. I couldn't get too much footage. I didn't get any footage of inside the houses because I didn't want to be that guy walking around with his phone. So I was just enjoying the houses. But I could talk about them if you guys are interested in that. What else are people saying? Posty, Exuma was not really what it was marketed as. I really dug it. Hopefully more people check it out. Well, I'm interested, just based on that premise alone and your recommendation. Bailey Walsh just popped in the chat. Welcome, Bailey. Dan's Den says, Friday Night Lights show has overtaken the movie. That sometimes it can be hard to realize that it was a film. Exactly. That's more what I hear about is the show, which I think has Taylor Kitsch as one of the stars. Never seen the show either, but I did know that there was a movie first. It kind of has that Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing where there was like a movie first, but then the show is much, much more famous. Daniel Banks wants Robot Dreams. Me too, brother. I definitely want it as well. Hopefully you can get your hands on a copy of that. Carrie Witt, I'm all for directors making the film they want to make. Coppola. I don't know who he was talking to. I don't know who that comment was directed at, but yeah, me too. John says Robot Dreams is Chef's Kiss. Bailey Walsh says Friday Night Lights, the show is one of my favorite shows. I'm not a sports person, but my brother and I watched it together and we both loved it. Let's see. Anything else here? I'm trying to see. Carrie Witt says I like Late Night with the Devil for its retro stylized look and execution. Evil Wax is a sucker for sports movies. Rudy, Hoosiers, Lucas, etc. And Slipmaker says that was my favorite. Dead Exposure, the like zombie lab breakout one. I also like the one of the rooms was super cold because I went during the heat wave. Oh, nice. Yeah, there was like a cooler room. That was a really cool house. I was surprised by how much. I thought I would like the movie ones better, but that one was really cool. I think, honestly, towards the bottom of my list, right after Weekend was the Texas Chainsaw one. It was like a tent house. It wasn't one of the ones on a sound stage. It was towards the bottom of the list for me. It was just kind of, it was just like people jumping out at you with chainsaws and meat hooks and all the different stuff. And one of the cool things, though, about the Texas Chainsaw one is they had actually made it smell in there. I don't know what they did, but it smelled horrible as soon as you walked in. But it was one of the least interesting houses. But also there was one that was like Frankenstein's daughter teams up with Van Helsing's daughter. It was a story one, which I liked. I liked that it was a story, but it had like no scares in it. It was literally just them kind of like telling a story. It had like title cards. It was kind of cool. I liked it, but it wasn't one of the best ones. There was a guy who came out on stilts at the end, dressed as Frankenstein, which is really cool. So yeah, that one I liked, but I had higher hopes for it because it was done on the original soundstage where they shot the original Universal Monster movies. So I went into it with high hopes, and it did good. It met expectations, but it didn't blow me away or anything. Next up, we've got Thelma coming out, another 2024 film from Magnolia Pictures. This is a comedy, so we're getting a little bit out of the theme here. This is not a spooky horror movie. It's just a comedy. Revenge has never been sweeter. So a revenge comedy about an old lady on a scooter called Thelma. I love that kind of stitched. That looks cool. I love that. I have a Fargo season 1 box that's kind of stitched like that. I like that. That's a really cool poster. But I know nothing about the film except that it is about a 93-year-old Thelma. Post gets duped by a phone scammer pretending to be her grandson. She sets out on a treacherous quest across the city to reclaim what was taken from her. Wow. So a tale as old as time, or a tale as old as phones, about old people getting taken advantage of by scammers. But this lady is not having it. She's getting her stuff back. That sounds amazing. That's a great premise for a comedy. I hope it stays subtle. My problem with comedies these days is they go way too over the top and they go way overboard in the third act and get too silly and crazy. I hope that one kind of stays on track because that sounds like a good premise. We've also got Friday Night at Freddy's getting back to the horror theme. This just came out last year, 2023, to mixed reception. I don't think like fans of the franchise were too excited about this one, but I think it did. I think it did pretty well, actually. I think it made quite a bit of money, and it looked like a cool premise. I wish it had stuck the landing a little bit better because I was actually really interested based on the premise. But yeah, Universal Studios putting out a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack, and that's the Steelbook. That's what the artwork looks like. It's got the animatronics right there and the sign. It looks cool. It looks nice. I wish we had an overview so I could see the rest, but I cannot. So I'll just have to go off that cover photo. It is still pending pre-order, so you can't buy it yet. I don't know what the cost is going to be, but you should be able to find that at your local Walmarts if you're one of the cool people that has a Walmart that has a Steelbook section. I am not. Continuing with the spooky Steelbooks, this was mentioned at the beginning of the show. We've got a combo pack here, a limited edition Steelbook for Jordan Peele movies, Get Out and Us. Look at that. Really, really cool. Looking simple. It's cool. It's a nice little release if you wanted to get both of those films. I don't know why it's not all three of his films. I don't know if the third one was from a different distributor or something, but this is Universal Studios putting these out. It shouldn't be because I went to Universal Studios and one of the coolest things about the place was the tour that you get to go on the back lots and you get to drive through. They've actually brought the set from Nope, his third movie, like the whole like carnival set, and you get to drive through it, and it looks super cool. Yeah, I actually really like that part of Universal Studios. So I don't know why that movie's not included here. And I still need to see Nope. Why did nobody tell me Nope was about like a carnival, like a spooky carnival? That would have sold me. I would have saw it day one. That sounds amazing. Looked really cool. But that is just Get Out and Us, his first two films on a nice limited edition Steelbook. Don't know how limited it is, but grab it quick if you want it. And then we've also got another Walmart exclusive Steelbook for The Strangers. I think this is the original. Let me check the year. But I'm pretty sure this is the original. 2008. With an extra cut on there. One movie, two cuts, and there's the Steelbook. It's nice. I like it. It's nice, minimal, interesting artwork there with the trees coming out of his head. It also looks like blood. Very cool. I like it. That's from Shout Factory, but it is exclusive to Walmart stores. So 3 different horror Steelbooks coming out this week to Walmart. Hopefully you can find those at a store near you. What else do we have here? Carrie Witt. Being in Ohio, we have some good remote, scary woods, barns, and such. Oh, do you mean like haunted house things, or you just mean actual barns and actual woods? That is definitely scary. Retro Misfit in the chat. I want someone to get the rights to and release Electric Dreams. Carrie Witt says that Thelma poster is fun. I agree. I also do. Going to see The Substance tomorrow. Hope it's as good as I hear. Michael Smith. I hope you enjoy it. I absolutely loved it. I love the experience of it. It was a great night. Dan's Den, 5 Nights at Freddy's overperformed all expectations. The kids came out to see it. Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember it doing surprisingly well. Dan's Den says Jordan Peele, one of the best filmmakers currently working. Nope is so good. Yes, I need to see that one. That's the one I'm most interested in. But I need to see all of them. I mean, especially Get Out. Retro Misfit in the minority, but I find Get Out and Us to be overrated. So Retro Misfit would not recommend I see those. But maybe I'll like them. Gus says he got his night at Freddy. He got my night at Freddy's Steelbook on Saturday. How are you getting these so early? I guess you're pre-ordering. I guess I got to get on the pre-ordering wagon because I never do that. Let's see. What else are people saying? Posty, Haunt is a great spooky carnival movie if that's what you're looking for. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Haunt. Never heard of that one. That sounds cool. And then Evil Wax says the carnival part of Nope is pretty minimal. Okay. Well, that's probably why I didn't hear about it then. Slipmaker last year on the Terror Tram, they let you walk through the Nope set and there were actors dressed as the Untethered from Us. It was very cool. I'm sad they didn't make it a permanent part. Yeah, we were really wanting to walk on that set when we went on the Terror Tram, but it was limited to what's the studio? Blumhouse. It was all Blumhouse this year. So we got to walk on the Psycho set, which was really, really cool. I love Psycho, and we got to walk on the hotel and then back around to the house. But there was just a bunch of Blumhouse people scaring us, like the people from Freaky, the Vince Vaughn and the teenager from Freaky, what's the dancing robot movie? I have not seen a lot of Blumhouse movies, but it was basically all Blumhouse people. I think you could go to the Nope set if you were a part of the RIP, exclusive, because we did see people walking back there, but they didn't let us go back there. We had to get back on the tram and go back. So that was really unfortunate. I wish I would have got to do that. We did get to walk on the set of the plane crash from War of the Worlds, though, and that was really fun. I kind of just wanted the people to move. I just wanted to say to the people trying to scare us can you please move so I can look at the Psycho set and look at the War of the Worlds set? It would be much more interesting if you people weren't here in my way. But next up, we've got another Steelbook. Is this a Walmart exclusive? I don't think so. I think you can get this anywhere. This is The Mummy getting a 4K. They've been doing all of the Universal Monster movies on these 4K Steelbooks. They did a couple each year. I know last year, I think they did Creature from the Black Lagoon. This year, we've got The Mummy coming out, which admittedly is one of the lesser Universal Monster movies, in my opinion. I didn't really get a lot out of this one. But there you go. It's pretty cool artwork. All the artwork matches the other ones they've done so far. I think they're pretty far into it at this point. I think they've just got a couple left. I don't know if they're going to do, what's that one called? Phantom of the Opera or not. I think that's one of the latest ones. This is all the way back in 1932, getting a 4K Blu-ray combo pack on Steelbook. I've seen the Creature one and the Frankenstein one in stores before, but they're really expensive. I don't know if I can justify. I have them on Blu-ray. I think that's fine for now. I don't know if I can justify $32 just to upgrade to a 4K, even though the Steelbooks are very, very nice. Next up, we've got Killers from Synapse Films, getting a Blu-ray release, the unrated director's cut of Killers, a Mike Mendez film. Look at that. You like that Synapse Films logo? Looks kind of like a grocery store. This is obviously a horror crime thriller from 1996. Killers. The most generic title ever. It's been used 100 times. We've also got Exuma getting a Blu-ray release. We already talked about the 4K. That's the cover on the Blu-ray. Really cool. I like that. It's like, wow, that's actually really cool. The Vicious Emergers. That's pretty cool. I like it. Both of the artworks on those look really cool. And then we've got a standard version of Arcane Season 1 getting a Blu-ray release from G-Kids, and also Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 from Shout Factory getting a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. Again, this one already has previous, I think it's an umbrella release, like a boutique big old box set release. But if you just want a standard edition, here is a Steelbook from Shout Factory. Just a more simplified, simple version of that franchise if you're a big fan of that franchise. I don't support ruining my childhood with these ridiculous low-budget horror films, but I think it has an audience. I think people liked it. We've also got a Halloween re-release trilogy, Walmart exclusive Steelbook of the whole trilogy. If you like compact stuff on the shelf, if you want very slim releases and you just care about the movies, this is a nice slim release of the Halloween trilogy. Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends all on one Steelbook from Walmart. So that's pretty cool. No idea what the price is going to be on that, but you can check back tomorrow when it's released. And I think that's going to do it for this week. We've got a couple other little things here, some anime, some TV shows. I'm going to close it out with this last one here from Kino Lorber. I thought we were going to make it 1 week without any Kino Lorber releases, but we didn't. We have one. It's from Kino Classics, I believe, and it is called Monsieur Vincent, an Academy Award winner from 1949, Special Foreign Language Film Award. Looks very, very cool. Studio Canal restoration, released by Kino Classics here in the States. A biopic, a historical drama film from 1947. What a way to end it. That had nothing to do with October or the spooky theme at all, but I am glad that we got some Kino in there because we pretty much get stuff from them every single week. Pretty much every week. I don't think we go a week without hearing from Kino. They are super prolific, pumping out all kinds of movies. So that's it. We've made it through the entire list in about 40 minutes. We made good time. So I've got plenty of time to chat with you guys here in the live chat. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know what you guys are watching this month. We're already 7 days into October. I've been watching some spooky films so far, and I'd be happy to talk about those with you guys. Let me know what you guys are watching. And of course, let me know what you guys are most anticipating this week. For me, it's going to be the Criterion double feature and maybe Exuma. That one also sounds really interesting. And Robot Dreams. I really want to get Robot Dreams. Nothing to do with October, but eventually I will grab that and watch that one because I missed it last year. What else are people saying? Connor Nielsen, did they let you swim in the haunted swimming pool from Night Swim? No, they did not. Night Swim was not anywhere. This was all like older Blumhouse films. There was no teddy bears from this year. There was no pools of any kind. That would be a mess. That would be impossible to incorporate. But yeah, I appreciate the Terra Tram for letting me walk on the sets. I didn't really care about the people jumping out at me. It was just kind of like an annoyance. Patrick Williams got that Blood and Honey 2 Blu-ray Steelbook 2 at Walmart tonight. I'm hearing about this a lot. Some people in the chat are saying they get them like the day before, or like I think John said that he saw the Criterion double feature at Barnes & Noble yesterday, so they're putting stuff out early. So I guess I might have to bump this show back to Sunday. I do it on Monday, so we can talk about it before they drop, but apparently they're dropping them early now. Eva Wax, I can't believe that they decided to do a sequel of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Wasn't one enough? Yeah, I did not hear great things about the first one. I did not see the second one. Jeffrey Patron says, Kino Classics, the old standby. Yes, sir. I actually just got a Kino Classics recently that I just, in LA, at Amoeba Music. I visited Amoeba Music. I shot a haul video, in-store shopping video. That should be up in the next couple days. I'm almost done editing it, so stay tuned for that. And a little tease, I got a Kino Classics silent film from Ernst Lubitsch, which I'm very excited to talk about. So, and watch. I can't wait to watch that one. Sean Collins coming in with the super chat. Thank you so much for the donation. Really, really appreciate you keeping the lights on here on the channel. And Canadian money as well. I don't know if that's worth more or less, but he says, have you watched through the Tushko set yet? If so, do you have a favorite film, saving mine for a rainy day? Yes, I do, sir. I have watched through it. I watched the first 3, and then I haven't watched the 4th one yet. The 4th one just came when I got the box set. It's up here. I actually store it. See right there? The big red. Oh, it's so hard when it's reversed. But there it is, the Tushko box set, way over there in the like darker red section. Love those films. Was not crazy about the 3rd one, but the first 2 are excellent. I recommend watching them in the way they were released. The first one is awesome. Let me see if I can get these titles exactly right for you, because I don't want to. I know my favorite one is, I think, Sampo. But the first one is called, what's the first one called? Why can't I think of it right now? Ilya Muromets. The first one is Ilya Muromets. It's about this like legendary figure who like it's like, I don't know how you explain it. It's like this mythical, legendary figure who like gets his sword made, and then he goes out and like stops this whole army by himself, and he sings and he drinks and he does all the things that we don't let fantasy characters do in modern times. I hate how serious, I hate Game of Thrones. I hate ruined fantasy, and everything has to be serious and dark and gross. Like, we can't just let fantasy adventure films happen anymore. This is amazing. If you miss that, if you miss colorful, exotic fantasy films where people just break into song for no reason, maybe they're getting magical weapons built on these blacksmith tables. Maybe they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're talking to animals in the woods. They're talking to stones. They're talking to mountains. They're talking to winds. They're talking to everything. Everything talks. It's like a fairy tale. These are awesome. So that the first one's Ilya Murowitz. He fights a giant dragon at the end. It's super fun. The second one is Sampo, which was my favorite one. It is even more of a fairy tale. Like I said, it's this princess gets kidnapped. This guy has to save her. There's this mythical artifact that they're trying to get back the whole time. There's an evil witch. There's this room in the evil witch's cave that's like literally winds. She has captured like the 4 winds, and they're all in these giant practical sacks with like chains around them, and they're like huge and they're massive and they're moving around and they're talking. Inanimate objects are talking. People are talking to trees. People are talking to, there's like this stone mountain that like opens up, and like it's this amazing forced perspective shot where it turns into a woman. Like, it's amazing. I love these. Sampo is probably my favorite, but Ilya Murowitz is right there at the top. Love both of those. The Tale of Tsar Sultan is the third one. I was not the biggest fan of that one. That one keeps the fairy tale, but it kind of loses all the cool special effects. There's a little bit, but it loses most of it, and it loses all like all the elements that I just explained. It kind of loses. It's kind of just a straightforward like romance fairy tale with a queen or a princess and a prince. If you like that, you'll enjoy it. It's kind of fun. The whole thing is told in verse, so every line is rhyming. So that's kind of cool. It's a nice little feature. But did not like that one as much as the first 2, and I haven't watched the 4th one yet, which I'm very excited to check out. So hopefully that helped you. Hopefully you can. I would start with the first one. Just start from the top and go down. That's what I did, and I really enjoyed making my way through that set. I talked about that for a long time, but it was a $10 super chat, so I don't mind spending a little time on it. Thank you so much again, Sean, for the super chat. Hope you enjoy making your way through that box set. I think like November, December, like Christmas time would be a perfect time to watch through that set. Sampo has a lot of winter scenes. It's perfect. Perfect for that month. So check it out. What else are people saying in the chat? We've got Sheesh 4K watched Fright Night for the first time and really loved it. I just found Fright Night, the Twilight Time Blu-ray, recently in a secondhand store. I think we have a 4K version of that now, so I didn't pick it up, but I was really happy to see Twilight Time releases. I always like finding those in the wild. That was in one of the recent sale haul, like not sale haul, but like Blu-ray hunting in store videos I did with Grace. People are really enjoying those. I'm really enjoying making those. We've been finding some cool stuff, so we're going to try to keep doing those for you guys in the future. Internet user, how's John doing with Doctober? He's doing great. He's been watching several of them. He's been telling me what he's been watching. He just watched Hollywood Chinese a couple days ago, which I was a little frustrated because I wanted to watch that with him, but I'll have to check it out a little bit later. But yeah, he's been doing good. He's enjoying his documentary-themed October. Carrie Witt with another super chat. Thank you so much. $1.99. Check out the trailer for Companion from Barbarian Team. I have not heard of that. Thanks for the recommendation. I heard great things about Barbarian. That's like the biggest one that people are upset about that doesn't have a physical release. But everybody I know loves that movie. And I did not know that they were coming out with another one. Companion. I'll have to make a note of that. Haunt, the carnival-themed horror movie, and Companion. Check out the trailer. Those are my notes. I don't have a notepad, so I'm trying to keep them in my head. Dan's Den says he watched a bunch of Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi films, The Black Cat, The Raven. Oh, we watched both of those last year. Those are weird banana movies. Crazy to follow that filmography and realize how much Lugosi's career fell off. Yeah, they did a ton of stuff. They did anything. They were, speaking of prolific people, they just did whatever, I think. I don't think they had any reservations about any films. But I watched The Black Cat and The Raven last year. I think I liked the Black Cat more because it was so weird. The Raven got pretty weird though at the end. None of them are what I expected. They're both named after like Edgar Allan Poe stories, and none of them really had anything to do with it. They're just catchy titles, I guess. Daniel Banks watched The Hitcher. It was so good. I've heard a lot about that. That just got a second sight release. Favorite of the new Halloween trilogy, says Josh. Mine has to be Halloween Kills. Evil Dies Tonight Be Damned. I did not see the new Halloween trilogy, so I can't give you an answer, but I'm sure the people in the chat will chime in. Gus says, I'm getting my Nightmare on Elm Street 4K this week. I've heard about that. The long-awaited Nightmare film finally getting a 4K release. Very happy for fans of that series because I know it's been a long time coming. Jeffrey says he watched the last Sidney Lumet movie today, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, from 2007. Really powerful thriller with a stunner performance from Philip Seymour Hoffman. And Marissa Tomei there. I think he meant Marissa Tomei's there too. Cool. I haven't seen that one either. Carrie Witt, DJ, you should mention that Shout Factory has its most excellent Shocktober sale going on now. Packed. Picked up a ton of goodies for great prices. I saw that. I got the email earlier today. Thank you for reminding me. They are having a Shocktober sale. I need to look through there and see if there's anything I need. Kino Lorber also having a sale right now. And I, like I said, found some things at Barnes & Noble the other day, but I had the kids with us, so we couldn't really do a lot of hunting or shoot a video or anything. So we're hoping to go back to Barnes & Noble this week and see if we can find any cool stuff there. They had a lot of the new releases, the new 4Ks from Kino Lorber, so I'm hoping I can find some cool stuff. Internet users planning on watching the Michael Mann film Manhunter later this week. Ethan says they put out a ton of Silent Lubitsch lately, all the titles that were in the Lubitsch Berlin DVD box set. I'm always happy to see more Lubitsch, and I haven't seen any of his silent stuff. We've been really enjoying his 30s and 40s and 50s stuff, but we haven't seen any silent stuff yet. So I'm excited to check that one out. Posty, the only person I follow on Letterboxd who's seen Monsieur Vincent is Martin Scorsese, so maybe I should check that out. Hey, I love when I find obscure things that nobody has really reviewed. I love when there's like not even a score because not enough people have reviewed it. That's when you know you're finding the good stuff. Gus says, is DJ describing a Vinegar Syndrome movie? I don't think so. I don't think I've described any Vinegar Syndrome movies. But unbeknownst to me. Sean, that's amazing. Thanks. You're very welcome for talking about the Tushko set. Michael Smith, DJ, are you aware of the channel called Kubrick Lynch? He does videos on various topics, one of which is Soviet fantasy films, as well as animation. He does good videos. I have not. I have not even heard of that channel, but I love the Soviet fantasy films I've seen, and you guys know I love animation, so I'll have to remember that. Haunt, the second film from the guys who did Barbarian, Companion, and Kubrick Lynch, the YouTube channel that I have to check out. Those are my notes, and I'm sticking to them. Bailey Walsh, I always have way too many movies on my spooky season and autumnal watch list, and it's such a tug between rewatching faves and first-time watches, plus the books I want to read. I'm exactly in the same boat. I just shot a video right before I got on the stream about my first-time watch list for Spooktober. I hope to get that up in just the next couple days. But yeah, I've got like 30 films on my Letterboxd Spooktober list for 2024, and there's no way I'm going to get to all of them, but I just got to put them all on there. I like to make a list just so I have like a nice pool that I can pick from throughout the month. But yeah, I can't watch 30 films in a month. That's not going to happen. Henry, for fantasy films, I would recommend Fritz Lang's silent epic Die Nibelungen. Yes, that has been on my shelf for a while, and I keep meaning to watch that. It's a big 2-part epic fantasy. It's supposed to be one of the best fantasy movies of all time, so I really need to finally get to that. I need an excuse to sit down and watch that. Thank you for the reminder, Henry. Evil Wax, I can't remember the director who said it, but they say The Vanishing international version is the scariest movie they've ever seen. Interesting. Bailey Walsh, I'll be watching a lot of vampire films, most likely, but witches are my creator. Witches are my creature of this spooky season. Okay, so you're going with a witch theme this year. And vampires. That's very cool. Both solid choices. Posty says, I think Fright Night Part 2 is really underrated. Mark Irwin was in his bag. I didn't even know there was a Fright Night 2. Was it? News to me. Josh Knoll finally watched The Bride of Frankenstein, loved it, but was also disappointed with it. I always believed that the bride had a much bigger role than what she really has. Exactly what I was talking about earlier when I watched Beetlejuice for the first time. It's like you build up in your head what you think these movies are because of all the hype and all the just pop culture impact that they've had. And yeah, I don't want to spoil Bride of Frankenstein for anybody, but she's not a main character. She's what the movie's about, but she herself is not on screen very much. So I understand. I also had a little bit of disappointment when I finally saw it. But hopefully on a rewatch, I'll like it better because expectations play such an important role in how much you like a film. Dan Sten says The Raven did have a really fun meta element with the Lugosi character being a Poe fan. Yeah. I think I do remember that as well. And he was like a fanatic. He was basically like the woman from Misery, was just like a big fan. Not the exact same thing, but he was just a big Poe fan, and he like used elements from Poe to like torture people and stuff. That was a fun one. I don't think I liked it as much as the Black Cat though. Magnitude Rev. Hey DJ, just wanted to say to be on the lookout for the mail for the next 2 days. Oh, that's ominous. That could be really cool or really bad. I don't know what that means. But thank you for the heads up. I eagerly await what is coming for me in the mail. I don't know what that means. He also used this spooky eyes. So yeah, I don't know if I should be creeped out or excited about what's coming in the mail for me. Magnitude Rev. I bought 6 films from the Kino Lorber sale. I went in not expecting to buy anything and bought a lot of $10 Blu-rays. Sweet. Yeah, I was mostly looking for the 4Ks, but yeah, I should go through and see how cheap the Blu-rays are because there's probably a bunch of stuff on there I'd like to get. What else? Joshua Lapure is talking to someone else, so I'll move down. Internet user, have you seen the 1957 film Night of the Demon? I have not seen Night of the Demon, but I want to look it up to see what you're talking about. I wish I had Letterboxd open. I hate Wikipedia. It's like very, very hard to see what I'm looking at here. Oh no, I have not seen this at all. What is 1957? No, I haven't. But that is in my era of horror that I really like. So thanks for the recommendation. A British horror film. Directed by Jacques Tourneur. Interesting. I will leave this tab open and look into that after the stream. Thanks for that. Sean says the Criterion channel has great witch-themed and horror FX-themed selections on this month. I looked at that. I haven't been watching a lot on the Criterion channel lately because I've got so much physical stuff to get to, but I did look through their themes. I looked through their... They put out a list every month of what they have on the channel, and I did see the witch theme and the horror FX theme stuff. Looked pretty cool. I saw the American Werewolf in London is on that horror FX playlist, so that's one I've wanted to check out for a while. Maybe I'll get around to that. Also, Onibaba is not on my Spooktober list for this year, but that's another one that I want to check out, and I saw that's on Criterion channel, so I may check out that as well. We'll see what I can get to. Michael Smith. Wouldn't say The Vanishing is scary in the American sense. Very grim and frightening in a psychological sense, though. Hey, sometimes that can be pretty effective. Gary Witt, very excited about Nosferatu coming out December 25th. I am excited. That's not a director I've really gotten into in the past. I've seen one of his films, but I'm excited for a Nosferatu remake. I love the original. The German Silent is one of my favorite Halloween spooky kind of mood pieces that I love. That's exactly what I want from my spooky season viewing, and love it. I'm sure this one will be nothing like it. I don't know. Maybe he'll try to recapture that a little bit, but his movies are obviously very different than that. D That Dog is in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I am a big fan of The Strangers and A Quiet Place movies. Do you own any of them? Yes, I own the original Quiet Place. We talked about this at the beginning of the stream, but I don't own the Strangers movies. Are you talking about all of the Strangers? Because there are several of them now, and there's one that just came out, I think, earlier this year, or maybe last year. I haven't seen the Strangers films, but I do love the first Quiet Place. I need to see the new one, but I don't think I'll blind buy that one. I think I'll probably watch it first to see. I can't be blind to buying too much because I'm running out of space. So I'll eventually watch that one as well. Ethan says, I have no self-control. I usually get 3 to 4 orders during Kino sales. Wow. Keeps going back. So you're like me during the Criterion sales, where I just keep going back. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're keeping Kino alive with their sales. Yeah, their sales are so cheap. It's great. Carrie Witt says, speaking of witches, I really liked The Witch. I'm assuming he's talking about the film from the same director we just talked about, Nosferatu director. Yeah, The Witch, a lot of people love that one. It's got some really nice releases, several different really cool boutique releases, so you can get whichever one you want. I think the Second Sight one is kind of the nicest one, but there's some other ones too. So if you want to own that film, if you really, really love it, check out some of those releases. I'm sure you can find them on eBay. Evil Wax, I really liked The Lighthouse, so I will definitely give Nosferatu a chance. Yeah, this will be him trying kind of getting back to his horror roots with this one, because he did his last movie. I'm sure it had a lot of the same kind of elements as his films do, but it wasn't a horror film. It was a revenge Viking action movie. So yeah, this is him getting back to horror. What is his name? Like I said, I'm not a huge Robert Eggers. That's his name. Yeah, I'm excited to see his take on Nosferatu. I did not see The Lighthouse, but I probably should at some point. I think most people would recommend that to me. Sean says, Kino's sale is so good that it's still worth buying even after silly Canadian shipping costs. I'm sorry, buddy. I know that's brutal. So that is a win, I guess. Well, I hope you can get as much stuff during the sale as you can. I know those shipping costs suck. We don't have to deal with it as often unless we want to get like an umbrella release or an imprint release or something from Australia or the UK. Those cost a little bit to get shipped over here as well. But you got to deal with it for everything, even the American releases, which I know sucks. But good luck with your sale hunting. Carrie watched Poltergeist this weekend. I almost forgot how much I love that Hooper Spielberg film. I've heard great things about that one. That's a classic for most people. Nosferatu is internet users' most anticipated film of the year, so he's super psyched about that one. I hope it's great. There's been so many horror movies that came out this year, and a lot of good ones I've heard good things about. So hopefully that one is one of the better ones as well. Michael Smith says, Dan, yes, and it was the same director. Found it odd he changed the ending. Probably was forced to. I don't know what he's talking about. He must be talking. He looks like he's talking to Dan. I think he's talking about the American remake of The Vanishing with Dan in the chat. Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've heard the international one is much better though. I've heard don't watch the American version. Dan's Den says The Northman was good and it looked gorgeous. Gus says Kino and Criterion's are my weaknesses. Yeah, exactly. And can you guys believe that Criterion is already coming up next month already? We are like 3 weeks away from the November sale. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go broke because I don't know. I'm gonna have to sell some stuff or something if I want to pick up some Criterions. I'll go ahead and talk about what I've been watching. I've been watching through the Cold War Creatures box set that I showed off earlier. Look at this. This is great. This is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite Arrow video sets. I was so happy when I finally found this. It's got 4 films by Sam Katzman. It says Cold War Creatures. I'm going to go ahead and call some BS a little bit on this because the first one is very Cold War. It's Creature with the Atom Brain. The last one also, The Giant Claw, is very Cold War-y with a giant monster that's like created by science. But the middle ones are not really. They're kind of like the same vibe, but they do not really have anything to do with the atomic or gamma rays or anything. It's just kind of a zombie movie that's completely voodoo zombies based on like these diamonds, these cursed diamonds. And there's a werewolf movie in here. There's the werewolf and the zombies of Moratau. Not really Cold War movies. I kind of wish there was 2 other movies in here because those ones don't really fit the list. Maybe he didn't have enough. I think he was super prolific. I think Sam Katzman had made dozens and dozens of movies. I guess they couldn't find any other Cold War movies though, because they're around the same time period. So I get what they're doing. This is 55, 56, and 57. So I guess they fit into that category, but I was hoping for some more like sci-fi Cold War goodness, and it was just kind of a standard zombie movie and a standard werewolf movie. But I really liked the first and the last one. The Giant Claw and the Creatures with the Atom Brain was a ton of fun. Those ones are really cool, but the middle 2, I can take them or leave them. But I will keep the set. I think I'm going to keep the set. Not only does it have 4 films in here, but it has 2 different books. 2 different books. You've got one book that's all the essays with 100 pages in there. And then you've got also another book, same size with just the art. Crazy. I'll talk more about that in my October video, but I've been enjoying watching through those the last couple days. What else have I been watching? Did I watch anything else for Spooktober yet? I think I did. I'll talk about that in a second, but let me see what people are saying in the chat. Scroll. D that dog. You have an eclectic collection. Nice. I do have a very weird collection. I was just thinking about that the other day earlier when I was going through my amoeba stuff that I bought. Very weird stuff, but I'm happy to have it. Baloney is here. Hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. Were you surprised by Heidi Lamar's story? I did look into that. I saw your comment and I did look into it, and it was. I didn't know any of that. That was an actress that he asked me to look up in a recent comment, and she was like an inventor. She did all kinds of crazy stuff. Very cool when you hear about those Renaissance actors from back in the day, like during the World Wars, were doing way cooler things than acting. Brent, I consider Robert Eggers one of the top directors working today. Internet user saw The Northman in the theater. I think there was only 3 other people with me. Yeah, it's a bummer. There was nobody in the theater when we saw The Substance. There's a few other couples. There's like maybe 3 other couples. I wish I had seen it with a packed house because it would have been so much more fun. Joshua, can't wait for the Criterion sale so I can get Happiness. I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday on Sunday and they had a copy of Happiness. It was great. I looked it over. I'll probably pick that up too in the November sale if I can find the funds. Jeffrey Patron, I'm going to be going to Noir City DC event next Saturday to see a double feature. One is a Richard Fleischer directed RKO noir and Armored Car Robbery. I'm so excited. Wow, that's really cool. You always talk about these really cool theater events, like these double bills that you go to, and I'm jealous. I have some really cool theaters in Atlanta, but they're so far away, like over an hour away. So it's tough to get out there and see the cool things that they do. Let's see, what else are people talking about? Thanks so much for the engagement tonight. It's a lot of fun, guys. I'm glad we had a little bit of time to catch up because we didn't do a show last week because I was out of town in LA, but this is fun. I'm glad that we're talking about stuff again. Oh, I know what else I watched this month. It's not super horror-y. It's not exactly fitting in the theme, but I watched All the Money Can Buy, which I absolutely adored. If you saw Letterboxd, you know I loved it because I gave it like a 4.5. It's awesome. It's so cool. I love these kind of like It's a Wonderful Life, Phantom Carriage type stories where there's like this supernatural deity. This is the devil, not an angel or anything. And this guy is having a really, really rough time and a horrible, horrible life. And he sells his soul to the devil, gets really rich, and goes up on his empire. And then, as you can probably guess, things don't really work out. And it's just so cool. I love these morality plays. It's like a little fable. Ton of fun. 106 minutes. Not that long. Very, very fun watch. Very interesting stylistic watch. I love some of the cinematography in this black and white film. And Daniel Webster is probably one of my favorite characters in all of cinema now because he was so cool in this. I liked him a lot. Very, very cool. And the actor who's playing the devil is killing it. He's hamming it up. He is awesome. Very strange. Like if you watch this, you know how everybody's doing that kind of mid-Atlantic accent in this time period? We're in like, this is 41. Everyone's talking like that except the devil. The devil's just talking like a normal dude. And it adds to the creepiness and it's very unsettling because you're not used to hearing people talk like that. But it was cool. It was very cool. I liked it quite a bit. That's going to be towards the top of my Spooktober ranking if I do that this year. I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know. I'm thinking about doing my first tier list. Instead of trying to rank all the things I watch, I'm thinking about doing a tier list at the end of the month. That might be easier to do and a little bit more fun. Evil Wax, the Criterion flash sale in October should be happening soon. It's usually in October. Of course, another sale that I can't afford. I forgot about that one. That's right. They do that. Those 2 months in a row are pretty brutal. At least you have a break between February and July, but when they do the October one right before the November Barnes & Noble sale, that is tough. Jeffrey says that Cold War Monsters box set does at least look awesome, to be fair. Arrow pretty consistent on that front. Oh, yeah. Arrow's limited editions are the best. They're so cool. And I enjoyed them. Like, I still had a good time watching it. John came over, and Grace, and I watched The Giant Claw together, and then we watched Zombies of Moratau together after Grace went to bed because she had to work the next morning. So I had a good time watching it. We had a good time talking about them. Just wasn't what I was expecting for that other one. But the Creature, I think my favorite one is the first one, Creature with the Atom Brain. That one actually has some really cool cinematography in that one. It seems like that one had the biggest budget. That one is about this ex-Nazi who's working with a scientist they like steal all these corpses from cadavers, I guess. They steal these cadavers from like a morgue and they're like bringing them back to life with radioactive material. And they're just like these lifeless zombies that they can control. And they have like a camera feed that goes through their eyes and they control them. And they're like doing these murders and knocking off all these guys one by one. And there's a detective, a team of detectives, a partnership who's tracking them down and trying to figure out who's doing it. It was so much fun. It was really, really cool. I like that one. That was my favorite one of the set. Let's see. Joshua, I think my second place to Criterion is Second Run right now. Been been loving everything I've gotten from them right now. Yeah, Second Run is super cool. I have 2 second runs on my list this year that I can't wait to watch. I've got 2 films by Gerard Hertz. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I've got Morgiana and Beauty and the Beast. Such a cool line. They put out mostly Czech stuff, but some other stuff from those countries like Hungarian films as well, but mostly Czech stuff. I gotta watch those. Those have been on my list since I picked those up from Second Run earlier this year, and I've been saving them for spooky season, so I can't wait to check those out. I agree with you on Second Run. Nothing flashy. They're not crazy or anything, but they're really solid releases with lots of supplements, and they always have a booklet as well. So nice and clean. I also agree they're way up there. Radiance though is putting out incredible stuff too, and Radiance's lineup for October looks amazing. I absolutely love all the titles that they're putting out. I'm hoping to get some of those sent to me. I've been talking to Radiance, and they have agreed to send me a couple of those, so hopefully I can get those before they come out, and I can do some reviews for you guys. Michael Smith, too many things coming out through December, so I am going to get very few Criterions. I might be in the same boat. I might also have to cut back on Criterion. I think I am definitely going to have to cut back on Criterions because there's a bunch of stuff coming out that I want. The Curzon box set of Bellatar is coming out this year, I think, like before the year is over, and there's also a big box set from Radiance coming out that I want to get. There's that Eureka box set of the film serials that's coming out as well. So much stuff coming out towards the end of this year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight. The wallet's going to be very tight. Kevin House, hey everybody. Sorry I'm late. Just saw today that my local Barnes & Noble does have Kino Lorber's on sale. I didn't buy any though. I did the same thing. I went yesterday and I didn't buy any because we had the kids with us, but I'm hoping to go back tomorrow and hopefully find some cool stuff. Kino Lorber, having a sale, not just on their site, but if you go to Barnes & Noble, you might find some too. Internet user, I've been to the Amoeba store in San Francisco where I bought the Criterion copies of Stranger Than Paradise and Irma Vep. Oh, I didn't know there was a San Francisco store. I went to the LA store and it was huge. It was one of the biggest movie sections I've ever seen in a store, period, but much less like a secondhand store. It was massive. I got some in-print releases. I got a lot of stuff. I already shot a video. I won't go into it here, but I'll show it to you guys. Hoping to get that video up tomorrow, maybe the next day, but I think tomorrow I should be able to get it out. But yeah, really excited about some of the weird off the beaten path stuff that I got. It was a lot of fun. Very cool store. If you're in LA at all, make sure you save some time to go to Amoeba. That was one of the other big highlights of the trip besides Universal Studios. Carrie Witt, just consider who watches Happiness with you, not one to view with the in-laws if you get my drift. Thank you for the heads up. I will not be watching. I don't watch movies with my in-laws. They live very, very far away, and they don't care about Criterion movies. He might maybe watch a Western or a sports movie. That's about it. That's about all we can watch with him. Or a war movie, maybe. Dan's Den, All That Money Can Buy, a.k.a. The Devil and Daniel Webster. Yes, great. Great movie. Quite enjoyed that one. Kevin House, glad you liked All That Money Can Buy. It's a great one. Edward Arnold should be better known today. Internet user Walton Houston plays the devil. He's known for being in the Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Yes, I didn't remember him from that because I've seen that quite a while ago, but he's so good in this, and that's why he's on the cover, because he's amazing. Although Daniel Webster should be there too, because he's a really solid character, and I liked him quite a bit. D That Dog, are you picking up Second Sight The Hitcher? Really good film. I am not picking up that one. I have to reserve Second Sight. They're so expensive. I got to save those for like my favorite films. The one I want the most is Picnic at Hanging Rock. I really want that 4K from Second Sight, but it is $120 on eBay because it's out of print, and I don't have that much right now. I wish I did, but that's the Second Sight one I want the most. That's like my holy grail from Second Sight. So cool. Michael Smith said they did a version of Daniel Webster with Alec Baldwin, Anthony Hopkins, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. It got roasted by critics. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, I don't know if I want it remade. I think it's kind of perfect the way it is. It was great. Posty also loves All That Money Can Buy. Iconic performance by Walter Houston. Agreed. I totally agree. Sean Collins finally watched The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1951. I actually loved it. Still has relevant themes. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. I have a poster of it right over here on the wall that you never see, but it's right there next to King Kong. And that is a movie that I would love for a boutique label to get. Like, please, where's the Arrow Video Day the Earth Stood Still limited edition like hard box. I would buy that in a heartbeat. I love that movie. I hate that. I mean, all we have is like a bare bones Blu-ray of it with horrible artwork because it's like trying to sell it like it's the new one. I think it came out around the same time as the new one because the cover of it looks like the new Day the Earth Stood Still. I hate it. I don't want it. I want the original poster. I mean, I would just like to have the movie, but I'm kind of holding out for some boutique label to get it. Why has no one got it? It has to be easy to get the rights to. I mean, it's just sitting. Gus says we should add the Criterion flash sale this month. Yep, we talked about that a little bit earlier. I guess I'm looking forward to that. My wallet is not looking forward to that. Jeff Petrone, in terms of fantasy, there's another Diderot picture with cinematography by Joseph H. August, who shot the Daniel Webster movie too. It's called Portrait of Jenny. Wow. Portrait of Jenny. You might dig it. I am writing that down right now because I love cinematography. Is one of the things I most liked about that film. So I might have to check that one out as well. What year is this? 1948. Sweet. Adding it to my watch list now. Thank you, Jeffrey. Joshua says, agreed about Radiance. I need that Boonwell box set. There it is. That's the one I was talking about earlier. Amazing looking Boonwell box set coming out, not this month, but I think in November, maybe December. I think it's coming out in December. I got to have it. That might be my first pre-order I ever do because I really need to get that one. It looks amazing. It's so cool. Evil Wax, I plan to watch a bunch of horror movies that aren't typical slasher movies. Creepy and weird stuff like Eraserhead. House, amazing. Carnival of Souls, also amazing. And Kuroneko. I've seen all these. I haven't seen Eraserhead yet, but House is one of the best Halloween watches ever. Make sure you watch it with other people. It'll still be fun by yourself, but if you can watch it with other people, do it because it's a wonderful film, especially when you've seen it before and you're showing it to new people and you can just watch their reactions. It's amazing. Carnival of Souls, I loved. It's such a cool atmospheric piece. The score, like the droning organ score, is so much fun. The creepy makeup job on like the zombies, it's so cool. I love Carnival of Souls. And Kuroneko was not my kind of movie, but I really, really like the visuals of Kuroneko. It's amazing. I'm not a huge revenge movie guy, and that's kind of just a revenge movie, but it's shot amazingly and really, really cool to look at. It's a perfect Halloween movie, so enjoy that one. But I don't get super excited about revenge thrillers, but man, I love how it looks, and I need to rewatch it because I might, now that I know what I'm getting myself into, I might be able to appreciate it a little bit more. Carrie Witt, are you surprised with some of the titles that get such a loving treatment? Boutique releases that are expensive for movies like, say, Cannonball Run. There isn't one for that. No, yes, it's kind of crazy, the stuff that, like, I get some silly, weird stuff. Just, like, the fact, I just got this in a recent video. Like, Mystery Men got a 4K from Kino Lorber. Like, what a weird, silly choice. But Kino Lorber puts out almost anything. Especially, like, if you look at Umbrella and Imprint, the movies that Umbrella and Imprint are putting out is insane, like absolutely crazy. It'll be like this weird, low-budget indie movie that no one's ever heard of, and it gets this big, huge, giant limited edition box set. Like, that's a little bit crazy. I don't need to. I'm not an Imprint collector. I can't be because it's from Australia. I ain't got money for importing that stuff. But yeah, it's a little overboard sometimes, the stuff that. But it's basically just because, hey, we can get the rights to this real cheap. It's not going to cost us anything. We can slap out a transfer that somebody else already did, and just, if we put it in a big box set, collectors will buy it. So they know the market, and we are kind of suckers sometimes. So I don't blame them for doing that. It's a good money making strategy. But yeah, it's a little silly sometimes. But they're cool. Yeah, I love a big box set. Patrick Craig, Deaf Crocodile is going to be coming out with some cool animation before the end of the year. At least 2 titles. Yes, I'm so excited. Deaf Crocodile is another label that I've been talking to, emailing, and they hopefully can be sending me some stuff here in the near future. I think I already missed out on the 3 that are out now, so I'm gonna have to buy those. But I really want to keep Deaf Crocodile coming. I want to keep up with the set. I've almost got a complete collection of Deaf Crocodile, so I got to grab those last few. They put out 3 new ones through Diabolic DVD already, and I haven't got them yet. I need to get them before they go out of print, at least the limited edition ones. D the Dog, I really enjoy your Blu-ray haul videos. Thanks. I like I said, Grace and I have had a lot of fun making them. We weren't doing them for the longest time. We were doing it at Criterion, like for Barnes & Noble, but we never, I had never had luck at the secondhand stores, but for some reason, whatever reason, lately we've been having a ton of luck and finding like some cool boutique stuff. We did another one at Half Price Books recently that I haven't had a chance to edit yet, but the stack is over there, and we'll talk about that soon in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that one. Yeah, I really enjoy making those. Those are a ton of fun. I wish we could find a way to talk in store. It's not always easy to talk in store, especially CD Warehouse is such a tiny store, and they blast music because it's a music store, so we can't really talk in there. But I'm hoping to get Grace in on the voiceover, so it's not just me talking, and she can talk a little bit too about the stuff she's excited about, because she gets her own stuff. She picked up way more than me at Half Price. I think I picked up 2, and she picked up 5. So most of that haul is going to be her stuff. So hopefully that'll be up later this week or maybe beginning of next week. I've got a lot of videos I got to edit, so hopefully I'll catch up with those. Nobody Fresh in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Nobody Fresh. Where were you at Amoeba when Greg Araki was there signing Criterion Collection Teen Apologize Trilogy? No, I was not. I didn't even know that happened. I was there on Saturday. Not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, on the 28th of September. So I didn't know he was doing that. That's amazing. Evil Wax, has anyone heard of or watched the animated movie called Monster House from 2006? It's supposed to be unexpectedly scary. Not only have I seen it, but I was traumatized by it as a kid. That was a horrifying movie. Oh, sure, come, bring your kids to a fun Halloween movie. And then it's the most horrifying, I don't even want to spoil it, I guess, even though it's, what'd you say, 2006? Very old, but good grief, that was, make sure your kids are the right age. It's like body horror. It's like children's body horror. It's crazy. What a horrifying film for kids that was. John, I see that Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins is in the Kino sale if you've been wanting to add it to the collection. I do not want to add that. I don't ever want to watch that again. John has lost his recommendation privileges in the Martinez household because he had us watch that atrocity of a film last time he got to pick the movie, and it was terrible. John, maybe you'll get your privileges back soon, but I'm still reeling from the Remo Williams, The Adventure The Adventure Begins. That was a stinker. Sorry if that's your favorite movie of all time, but I don't think I'm in danger of anyone coming after me for that. DJ, you have a lot of notes to remember from tonight. I know, you guys are giving me too much good stuff to look into. I'm not going to be able to keep it all straight. I'm going to have to start doing the show with like a pad and a pencil and just writing things down because you guys are always great. Thank you for all the great feedback and input tonight. As always in the chat, we'll talk for about 8 more minutes. Last call for questions, comments, super chats, anything that's coming in. 8 more minutes. And then we're going to wrap it up at an hour and a half, right at 10:30 Eastern time. Let's see. Kevin House, Portrait of Jenny is also one of my favorite films. Oh, wow. I remember I mentioned it to you quite some time ago because I know you would love it. Good. Oh, okay. So I got Jeffrey and Kevin recommending Portrait of Jenny. I'll have to get that then. Does it have a good release? Let me see. Let me type in Blu-ray. Okay. It's got a Blu-ray release. I don't think it's anything special, but at least I can get my hands on it if it's not streaming anywhere. I will look into that. Thank you, guys. Jeffrey says, Walter Huston played a number of fascinating roles. Besides the devil, he also was one of the many who played a version of Doc Holliday, and he did so in Howard Hughes' The Outlaw, released 4 times. There we go. That's another fun fact. Didn't know that either. Billoni, I've been buying one Criterion title each week. I buy a 30% off title and use the Barnes & Noble membership for a decent price. Hey, that's great. You don't have to wait till the sales. I like to wait till the sales just because it's fun to have like a season, like a Criterion season where I buy stuff. It makes it more of like an event, makes it more special. So I don't buy anything throughout the year. I always wait till July and November. But however, whatever floats your boat, man, that's awesome. And I'm probably you're pretty close to 50% with those two sales. Kevin House, Walter Huston played James Cagney's dad in the classic Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm getting a full film education on the filmography of Walter Huston. Let's see what else people are talking about. What else? What else do you want to talk about? Internet user, should the Deaf Crocodile fan base be called zookeepers? I don't know what they should be called. I know that they recently set out a poll for their users to name the crocodile. They actually named him. I don't know what they ended up, I saw it on Instagram. I don't know what they ended up calling him, but he does have a name now. But I don't know if they have like a name. Yeah, zookeepers. Carrie says crocodile hunters. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I like that quite a bit. Henry, what are you talking about? Remo Williams is great. Doesn't get much love or respect. I couldn't have predicted it. Someone is coming after me about my Remo Williams slander. I'm glad you loved it. We were watching it through our hands of cringe most of the time. SC, just noticing Frog and Toad there. Where do you get a shirt like that? I think I got this at Marshall's. This was just on the rack at Marshall's. I don't know where it was from originally, but that's where I found it. And yeah, it's Frog and Toad. One of the earliest books I ever remember reading was a Frog and Toad. Okay, I have to add Monster House to my Shocktober list based on your glowing review. I don't know how it would hold up as an adult, but as a whatever I was, like 9-year-old, 8-year-old kid, it was, especially a kid who didn't grow up like watching horror stuff. So I had no basis for it. It was pretty shocking for a kid's movie. Very weird. Ugh. Ugh. I still don't like thinking about it. All right. We're wrapping up here. Well, let's see if one last call. Anyone wants to say anything in the chat? I am to the end. I'm caught up. So if you have anything to say, let me know. Ethan Edwards says the best thing Walter Houston did was fathering John Huston. Carrie says Remo Williams had originally planned to be 4 films. That didn't happen. Yes, I see why it didn't happen. It makes perfect sense why that didn't happen. But I did know. That's why there's a colon, because they planned on it being a whole franchise. But man, whew, woof. Internet user Frog and Toad is excellent. Excellent shirt. Thank you. Appreciate the love for the shirt. Baloney, is there a list of the boutique labels? I want to go through their libraries and buy stuff. That is a video I need to do. That is definitely a video that's been on my list for a while. Just like an intro to all the boutique labels. Remind me to do that. I've got so many videos I need to edit right now, but that's like at the top of my like waiting list. If I ever get a lull, maybe around holidays when I don't have much, that I'm not buying much, maybe I'll do that. But I really want to do like a guide to boutique labels because there's so many of them and it's impossible to keep them all straight. There's like I said, Australia's got Imprint and Umbrella. UK's got Radiance and Second Run and Indicator and Eureka. And then and Arrow Video is also big in UK as well. We've got Arrow, we've got Criterion, we've got Deaf Crocodile. I'm just looking at stuff that's on my desk right now. TerraVision. We've got so many different boutique labels that would be a fun video to do. And I think it would actually be helpful for people. So hopefully I can do that. Make sure, I don't know. I don't know when I'll get to that. I was going to say stay tuned, but I don't know. It's going to be on deck for a while because I've got a lot of videos that I'm already in the middle of shooting and editing. So I don't know when I'll get to that, but that's a great idea. I don't think there is a master list anywhere. I think you're just going to have to do some research by yourself. You can go to sites like Atomic or Diabolic DVD or those sites, and they have like all the boutique stuff on there. That's another video I could do. I think some people have done that. I think there's some YouTubers that have done like going through all those different sites. I need to do some research on that because that could be another fun video. Magnitude Rev, if you wanted to know what my all-time favorite horror film from the 2010s is, I wasn't thinking about that, but thanks for offering it up. The Wailing from 2016, South Korean modern folklore horror film. You're speaking my language there, Rev. Let me look it up. The Wailing. The Wailing. You've talked to me in the comments quite a bit about your love for Asian cinema, and that makes perfect sense with your sensibilities. The Wailing, 2016 horror mystery. Here it is. It is streaming on Viki. I don't even know what that streaming service is, but I'll have to check that one out. Based on Korean folklore. I love me some folklore horror stories. I'm about to watch Kwaidan, which is a Japanese folklore horror movie. So that'll be on the list this month. I'll definitely be getting through that. And like I said, I'm already doing these 2 other Czech films that are based on fantasy or fairy tales. So thanks for the recommendation, Mag. I'll be looking into that. The Wailing. I also want to watch what is the Bong Joon-ho horror film that he did very early on? The Host? Is The Host good? I also have been wanting to watch that forever. That's been on my list for a long time. Baloney, that will be awesome. Here's your first reminder, LOL. Yeah, I gotta eventually do that video. I think that'll be helpful for people. Patrick Craig, The Wailing is fantastic. I'm not a big horror fan, but thoroughly enjoyed it. It has a nice 4K too. Oh, it does have a 4K. I didn't know that. I will have to look that up. Thanks for the great recommendations, guys. The whole show. Thanks for everything. All of your great input. You guys make the show so much better than it would be if I didn't do it live and I was just talking at a camera. It would be nowhere near as good. You guys are the best. One of the brightest parts of my week is the beginning of every Monday when I get to talk to you guys and have a good time talking about movies and collecting. Thank you guys who join every single week. It's always fun. And if you're watching after the fact on the replay, you're missing out. You got to join us live Monday night. Set your family aside, set anything else you have to do aside, and come and join us 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Really early for you guys. I hate that it's so early, but I can't go any later. This is as late as I can go. So I always have a great time talking to you guys. Thanks again so much for all of your input in the live chat. We'll be doing this again next week to talk about a bunch more releases. Let's see what's coming out next week. Oh yeah. Plenty of stuff next week. We've got Paramount Presents 4Ks. We've got Nightmare on Elm Street that was already mentioned. We've got some Umbrella releases. Tons of stuff. Cowboys and Aliens is getting a Kino Lorber release. That is bananas. That's crazy. They'll put out anything. Kino Lorber will put out anything. But we're going to have to stay tuned and wait till next week to talk about that stuff. Lots of other videos coming out this week. I'm already editing several of those. And stay tuned. But until then, keep collecting. And we'll be back with another one real soon.